switch me on.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Proton Pack is Not a Toy. My name is Matt. This is going to be a two-part video starting with this preview, just my thoughts leading into my first viewing of Ghostbusters Afterlife. And then the back half of the video will be a review, spoiler-free, just my thoughts as I've seen Ghostbusters Afterlife again for the first time. I want to put my thoughts out there before I see everybody else's reviews and thoughts, so it's my original thoughts and it's not convoluted by what other people have said, seeping into my brain as well. So I want it to be purely my thoughts. Just starting with, it's been so long. Ghostbusters 2 released on June 16th, 1989. We saw Dr. Venkman saying, "No, I believe it's one of the fettuccinis." And then they got the key to the city on Liberty Island and closed out Ghostbusters 2, and that was 11,843 days ago that movie debuted in theaters. And tonight, November 18th, 2021, will be my first opportunity to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. For all intents and purposes, Ghostbusters 3 in theaters for the first time. It's been a long ride. Obviously, it's been 30 years of rumors of things what it could be, and then only to have our hopes dashed and strung out even further. But you know what? We finally got to where we needed to be. Go back and look at the Afterlife teaser trailer, the one with the Ecto-1 in the barn, and the little proton stream, and the cover goes off, and you see the logo on the back of the Ecto-1 in the barn. That came out January 16th, 2019, so 34 months ago. It's been almost 3 full years since we knew about the movie's existence. What was first known as Ghostbusters 2020 eventually got the title Ghostbusters Afterlife or Legacy, depending on where you live. So not only have we had to wait 3 decades for this to really get kick-started, but 3 years almost now that we've known that it exists, actually getting to see it for a wide audience in theaters. I know it's been out there for critics, and some fans have gotten to see it ahead of time, and more power to them. But for you and me, a lot of you, this is our first opportunity to finally see it. I know I'm super excited. Obviously, it's had multiple delays due to the COVID pandemic. It was supposed to come out last year and then was delayed, I lost count, 3 or 4 times here until the middle of November 2021. And I don't want to make light of that. A lot of people have lost their lives, have lost their jobs. We've had to transition to a world where we have to wear masks, and we have to consider vaccinations, and social distancing is a thing that wasn't when they first started making this movie. And that's the world we live in now. And part of it I'm kind of thankful for, because not the pandemic itself, but Ghostbusters Afterlife has been kind of the carrot on the end of the stick, drawing me forward, pulling me through the world and the situation that we've been living in the last year and a half. The times when I've gotten tired of wearing a mask, or I've gotten lazy, and I think about Afterlife and I want to be there to see this movie in theaters. And it sounds silly, but it's helped me get through this situation. When the vaccines were available, as soon as I could get it, I wanted it, so that I knew I was, to be honest, survive to this day to be able to see this movie, and to be able to have my friends and family along with me to see it. And there's the sad reality that some other Ghostbusters fans haven't made it from that January 19th January 2019 to today, because some of them have, passed on because of the pandemic, and that's a sad thing to think about. So I don't want to take any of that lightly, and just consider myself very grateful and thankful that I've been fortunate enough to make it this far, to not be sick today. I've just been thinking the weeks leading up to this, boy, I hope I'm not sick just on the day of the movie and have to wait even longer. Woke up today feeling great. Family looks like they're doing great. Excited to see the movie tonight. We finally get a new story with the original characters. That's what's drawing me into this movie, and always has. We get these new characters we're going to learn about and hopefully fall in love with as well. But Peter, Ray, Winston, Dana, Janine, and then the connection that we have to Egon has always been what has drawn me into this story. And I'm hoping it pays off. I hope we get enough of them for it to really give us the closure. We had like I've said before, the end of Ghostbusters 2 was kind of the end of a sentence or the end of a paragraph, but it wasn't the end of the story. There was more to be told. There was more for those characters to unravel, to unwrap. And we could have had many more movies, but it just didn't work out that way. I've always wanted to know what else happened to them. What happened to them after Ghostbusters 2. And hopefully, depending on how well they've done the movie, we'll find out and be able to have a little bit of that closure for these characters and this portion of the story. And I do hope that we really enjoy the new characters and relate to them and fall in love with them as well. But to me, it's always the connection to that first generation. And that's why I was never drawn into the 2016 reboot, because it didn't have that connectivity to the original two movies. And I don't want to bash the movie. A lot of you enjoy it. A lot of people have negative things to say about it. But it never had the draw to me because it wasn't a part of the storyline that I wanted to continue. And that's what we're getting out of Ghostbusters Afterlife, the continuation. And that's what a lot of fans have wanted. And I'm hoping after the 3 decades and the 3 years, respectively, that it pays off. That the anticipation isn't for naught. And I won't say the hype, but the anticipation is a big thing here. A lot of people that have seen it have saying it's great. It's the Ghostbusters 3 you've always wanted. And I'm hoping in the back half of this video that's what I'm telling you as well. Obviously, if you look behind me in the room around me, I've spent a lot of money on this movie having not even seen it through the products and other different things. So it's going to have to really tank for me not to like it. But I'm hoping the general public, the people go out and see it, and they enjoy it. And it has a positive review just overall. And that will make me happy. So over the last week, I've unplugged from social media. I've pulled back from YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, taken a little break, partly because I didn't want to run across any last minute spoilers, and partly because, to be honest, I was a little jealous or envious of some people that I follow or I'm friends with on these platforms that have gotten to see the movie already. And in some high profile, audiences, I guess we would say. Tried not to be jealous about it, but the thought creeps into my mind. But I'm very thankful that I'm going to be able to see this movie tonight with my mom and dad, who took me to see Ghostbusters 2 when I was 7 years old, and my wife and kids, and some of our friends that we've invited to a private screening. And so there'll be a group of less than 20 of us sitting there enjoying it. But it'll be 20 of us that know, in roundabout way, know each other. And that works great for me too. And so I'm happy that we'll have that opportunity to watch it in such a way. So I'll have some pictures to share And like I said, the second half of this will be a spoiler-free review. And then I'll do a detailed video later on. I'm going to let you guys see the movie. I'm not going to put my review out there for at least a day or two. Just so people don't run across it and get spoiled of it because of my video. I don't want that to happen. So, but pretty much after Friday though, if you haven't seen it, then all bets are off. I'm going to have to put things out there. I'm going to be lapped by a lot of people on the platform, obviously. So for decades, we've been dreaming of what Ghostbusters 3 might be, and today it becomes a reality. We're entering a new era of the Ghostbusters fandom, literally just on the last page of this notebook, and it's like turning the page of the fandom today from what could be on Ghostbusters 3 to what actually is in reality in Ghostbusters Afterlife. We don't have to wonder anymore, what else could be. And Sony may decide to make 5 more movies in the next 10 years and really milk it, and they probably should. But there will never be another Ghostbusters 3 situation. There will never be such a wait, such an anticipation, such a build-up for it to be able to pay off. And I doubt that Jason Reitman will want to, consider going into making sequel after sequel of this. And so it probably would be kind of like an Avengers Marvel situation where it bounces around to multiple directors and we get different ideas on what Ghostbusters could or should be. But this one is special. It seems surreal after all the years of waiting that today's finally the day, and it's finally here. And I do hope that it lives up to that anticipation. All right, just got home from seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife. Obviously, still in uniform, went with the Proton Pack. Have some pictures to show you guys. Hope you enjoy those. And just my initial first impressions. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on in the movie. This is spoiler free, so I'm not going to put anything out there right now detail wise, but I still have a lot of unanswered questions. I still have a lot of things that we posited in my videos leading up to this that I didn't get answers to, and so I'm still curious. I thought all the younger actors did a great job, and Carrie Coon and Paul Rudd did as well. It was good to see the old guys back on the screen again. I'll be honest with you, the first two acts, I was following along really good, really enjoying the way it was building. And then there was a few twists in there I didn't see coming that were cool. Part of the end left me a little flat, to be honest with you. Kind of left me wanting a little bit more. And I don't know if that's me being greedy or what, but maybe just some of those unanswered questions. Wanting to have everything tied up with a bow. And I'll get into that more when we get to the spoiler, everything goes video that I'll put up next. But it's a good movie. Go see it. Take your family, take your kids, take your mom and dad if they were into it when you were growing up. You will have a good time. You'll enjoy it. I will say it's I'm gonna have to see it a few more times. Some of the dialogue and some of the details in there I want to hear, and I want to take note mentally again of what they're saying so I can catch it. Mostly again in that third act. A lot of the things that we kind of posited, kind of things that we thought might be the case as speculation, turned out to be true. I'll just say that. And yeah, so I'm not going to say a whole lot more. I'll leave it hanging a little bit for the spoiler video. And I'll say yes, I did like the movie. I think I'm kind of hoping for a little bit more, but it was a good movie. I was happy with it. So go see it, like I said, and stay tuned for the next video where I go into a little bit more details. Have a good one.